All right, I promised myself I would stay on top of doing videos, and it's been a couple days. So, um, I have a couple different ideas of what I want to talk about today, but I got a little derailed because my husband's been offered a job in Texas, and we are currently in Southern California. And that proposes a very interesting um, debacle because as a neurodivergent person, a mother, a woman, um, it hasn't been awesome, but it's getting so much better. And California is very progressive, and no matter what you think politically, there's a lot of trial and error that goes into fixing the system. And in California, it might be expensive, but there are ways to find good deals and get a good landlord, like we do. Um, there's ways to hustle and make it work. And what we get for that is, the weather is consistent, so you can plan indoor outdoor activities pretty consistently, which is nice. It's convenient, not a necessity. I'm okay with other weather types. I can plan for that as well. So that's not really an issue. What I am most concerned about is that a large portion of the voting population in Texas is still voting towards less reproductive rights for women. There's still a lot of, there's not a lot of protection of rights. It's getting better. It is getting better, but it's like, as far as I can tell, and I could totally be off. I may not know this at all. Like, I might be just super wrong. But just from what I can tell from what they vote for and what the consistencies are, they're like California 20 years ago. And it's like, I don't want to go backwards. It's starting to get better here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're where we're at. And, maybe they're further along. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But the hard thing for autistic people and ADHD people, as far as I know, at least for me, is change. Change is hard. It's very, very hard. It's hard to look at the compare contrast objectively because we are so comfortable with habit that it doesn't seem like anything else could possibly work. So that being said, I will be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. I will do what I always do, and if there isn't a way, I will pave my own way. But I hope to be pleasantly surprised. I know that a lot of people from California are going to Texas because there's a lot less expectation and buy-in towards helping the community, which means that you keep more of your money. But that also means that's less money towards the community, but that also means that there's less politics in how they spend your money. So because that's still going wrong even in California here. There's still a lot of misspending of funds because everybody thinks they know better, and they're not really using science and data. They're using feelings and power moves to spend the money. So sometimes it works out great and sometimes it doesn't. And that's going to be the case just across the board. So by keeping more of our own money, we are keeping it out of the hands of the politicians and the government to do what they will with it. And in that case, I am on board with that because I don't have a lot of faith in what they're going to spend it on, especially when they spend so much time and energy taking away women's reproductive rights, which I am not okay with. Whether you're Republican or Democrat, I was a Republican the vast majority of my life. Shouldn't even be going into politics right now, but women deserve their rights. They're supposed to be protecting rights, not taking them away. Anyway, I could go on like a whole tangent about that, and I will at some point, but today is not about that. Today is about change, really, more than anything. change is hard. It's hard for anybody, and neurodivergent people, especially autistic people, as far as I know, change is painful. Even positive change is painful. Even if you're in love with somebody and you're moving in together for the first time, coordinating around each other is painful. And I know there's a lot of people who would say, "Oh, don't say that. You know, you're making it a negative." It is a negative. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It is a negative. It is hard. It is painful. And that doesn't mean it's not for the best. It doesn't mean that it's not beneficial. Something that I have discovered through my second oldest child, who's also autistic, very much self-diagnosed. I talked to the doctors. They didn't know what to do with us. We didn't ever actually get him appropriately tested, because when we did try, the doctor told me before they even started the testing, they were gaslighting me about it. So I literally just had that happen again with my youngest. So there's just there was already, there's bad doctors out there, so let's not worry about them. But with him, I did learn that change is always hard, and that so long as the change is for a good reason and it's anticipated that it will have a positive outcome, it's worth pushing through, kicking and screaming if need be. And he would kick and scream and flip out, and I would just make him do it, and he would survive, and he would be better off for it, and he would thrive. So I do know that from him. I do that with my other kids. I do that with myself. And I have to keep reminding myself that it's for the best. This is a good thing, even if it doesn't feel like a good thing. I have to keep pushing through. And, worst case scenario, it sucks and we move back to California. So it's an option. That door is never closed. It might be hard, but we would figure it out. So it's really hard to keep reminding myself that change is not easy for me as an autistic person, and that I will survive. So that's my quick little snippet for today.